did you get out of jail? Where'd you run to?
Yeah, I only had enough money to fly down because I spent too much. After being stuck in that jail for so long, it was only a couple of weeks, but we had to pay a lot of money to immigration to bribe them to accept our story and get a fine and get out of there. So we did all that, and by the time I got to Singapore, I was penniless. So I met a girl that I'd met the first time I went to Singapore, and I went and seen her and said, listen, I told the immigration I had money in town and they don't give you a visa unless you got money. And I need to stay here. I got no money to fly home. I said, can you lend me $500 so I can show the immigration? She said, yeah, sure. She said, okay. She gave me the $500 and come to the airport with me, and I went up the steps, showed them the $500. They gave me 3 months. I come down and give the girl $500 and we left. So that was how I got to stay in Singapore. I stayed in Singapore and then I flew to Bali. And then after Bali, I had 6 good weeks in Bali of surfing, having fun, getting to know the Balinese and being contented and happy and being myself again after all I'd gone through. But that gave me strength and character too. You know, if I could get through that, I could get through fucking anything, you know. So it made me happy to be in a place that was so beautiful, and the food and the drinks and the simplicity, the no electricity, and trying to tell them not the progress is stay where you are. Electricity and progress and having all these things ain't what it's built up to be. But you can't tell people that. Everybody wants progress and better things, you know, and more comfortability, you know.
It's sold to us as something better, but doesn't end up being that way, does it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, because we destroy the environment, making us more comfortable. We dig up more coal, we take out more oil. You know, when other people have made great inventions to avoid all this oil and coal being used, and they've stifled them and gotten rid of them so they can keep selling their petrol and their oil and their industrial stuff, not caring about the atmosphere, the hole in the ozone layer that was created, and all the rest of the things that goes on, you know. And people are trying to tell us that industrialness doesn't cause that and the planet's fine. You know, they're tripping. We are destroying this planet, and we have to learn how to be more green and more environmentally aware of what we live on, and more sustainable earth, a more productive earth for us all, not just for a couple. I read a book called The Black Elk, and the Black Elk talked about how him and Buffalo Bill went to America. He went on that big Indian run that they went to. They ended up even going to London and doing a cowboys and Indian chase in a big tent like a circus thing. And it was just all in pretense, but they reenacted what they did, the wars they had, right? And the Black Elk was hired as one of the Indians to go with Buffalo Bill. He loved Buffalo Bill. He said Buffalo Bill was a really nice man and really cared about the Indians and understood them. You know, a bit like that, my favourite movie, Dances with Wolves. Anyway, the Black Elk said, I see kids playing in the mud. I see kids on push bikes. He said, your society does not know love. He said, where we live, in our camp, we share. No one has any more, no one has any less. You know? He couldn't understand why children had nothing and some had everything. To him, that was not showing love to their community. And he's absolutely right. You know, so way back then, we're on the wrong trail. It's gotten worse and worse. It's me, Johnny. I'm home.